to people. He was
No,
not
no,
nasty to
not at all.
people.
Not at all.
Yeah, he wasn't. I remember being in Washington, and I had told this story before on one of the other podcasts where I was doing some bodyguard work for him, and I had to leave. I was part of his national tour. Me and the three guys that were with him. Me, Lee, Tony Harris. You remember him, Sensei? Yes. Tony Harris, Bo the Polynesian Dream. And I had to leave. It was his Rough Riders was so wild, but he was sitting in the VIP room calm. And I went over to him. I said, listen, I'm going to have to tell you, I can't do this. Yeah. I said, I'm just not the hip hop bodyguard you're looking for. And I said, listen, just pay me for the night, me and my guys, and we're out of here. And he was very nice. He said, no problem. He said, if you can find the promoter, he'll pay you.
Right.
And it didn't go. It went downhill from there with the promoter, but not for us. And we left town. We left Washington because of that.
Is that the time when the promoter tried to sneak off?
Yeah.
They always do. When it comes time to pay, or when it comes time to take care of the business, they always find that exit sign.
Or if they didn't do well, Jake, if their night didn't give them what they were supposed to, they always figured, I'll just dip out on security.
Yeah.
Right. We have guys follow them or the owners around the club. No. You can't go anywhere until you pay us. Like
That's
literally, right. we have X amount of security. You three, go stay with him. He can't leave the club, period. He owes us money. He's not leaving.
Yeah.
We'd hold him hostage till we got our money.
Oh, yeah.
We had to.
Yeah, that's what you had to do. That's why, every time I work, I make sure that we have that understanding. And like, I never wanted to work like with companies, because even sometimes the head of security, but I never had to go through that with Sensei or, places that I went, on my own. I never joined companies because they either tell you come back next week, we'll pay you and all. Now, I want my money when I work. I want it at the end of the night. And I got so used to that. Now it's so watered down where they're treating this like a job. They pay you every 2 weeks now, I hear. I got a friend that works and they pay them every 2 weeks.
There's a reason for that, though. I am a security company owner. There's the owners of these, they make it very difficult. The owners of these companies, they're crying the whole time, blah, 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 blah. And then they want, if they wind up banging us out for a week, all right, no big deal. I pay my guys whatever. But really what happens is if you have 15, 20 accounts and 7 of them do it or 4 of them do it, that's a lot of money per guy.
Yeah.
15 guys at every account, 12 guys times, you know what I mean? Times 3 weeks to three days.
Of course, we know the insurance is a lot, but this is the business. Because I remember at one time when Sensei had got me into the business, it wasn't like that before. What, you need 10 guys? I don't know if it was something that, should have been done from the beginning. I think it would have been good. But, that person, head of security or owner, would get a piece of the pie. So, in other words, if you needed 10 guys, Sensei get 10 guys and be working. And then that's the end of the night. You get paid 100, 125 at the time.
It was different, though, brother.
Yeah, and then you go. But now it's like you get 10 people. I got 10 people. I'm getting the owners, and that's how come they get frustrated and get on security so much. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I stopped trying to work, is because of the fact that they'll come and they're paying $175 for a guy. You're getting paid $125. The person that brought you or recommended you gets $50. So now here you go getting $50 off for 8 guys. That's good money. There was a guy, head of security, got fired. I worked this place up on 145th Street and 12th Avenue. I forgot the name of the spot, but it was like next to the Hudson Highway.
The spell is the Spanish club, yeah?
Yeah, and
all the way up.
I knew this guy from working from Copa. He told me, he says, I'm going to pay you $150, but don't tell nobody what I'm paying you. Right then and there, I knew it was something wrong. Don't you give me my money? No problem. He was getting good money to watch over this place, right? Now, the main guy who owned the contracts had a lot of contracts that he was running around. He put, he's paying him $300 a night. He had the nerve to take, or for other people, $25 off each person that worked. So he was paying them $125, keeping $25 until it blew up in his face. But it's stuff like that you got to worry about too. And back in the days, you didn't have to because, when they say you get 100, you got 100. But now they try to lowball you so much, some owners, not all, but they'll say, oh, you're working, but you get $90 for the night. and you're probably getting paid $150, so they're keeping like $60.
Yep.
You know, because that's all to go for the insurance. You know, for
wait. If you have a legitimate, like I have a legitimate company, I pay over $100,000, a lot more than $100,000 a year before I make a nickel. So your head of security may not be working for a company, or he just might have a business card. So he's pulling money off the top, but he doesn't have any overhead. My overhead is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have legitimate overhead.
Some of them, not all of them. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Certain class of head of securities that, you know, are owners of the contracts that take a certain amount because they want to see overhead. So they're going to take from each person. And if you're going to work, because for a perfect example, I work with a friend of mine up in Spanish Dominican Harlem, all the way up on 190 something street in Amsterdam Avenue. We were talking, he told me, he says, yo, he was a retired cop. He says, listen, I'm gonna put you on, but we getting paid different. Don't talk about what we getting paid. There we go again. I said, no problem, which I had no problem at the end of the night, got paid. We got paid $150 for the night. Now this place, a lot of drug dealers will come in, a little hectic, you know, but the workers that live up there, they were getting paid $50 a night, acting like they were getting paid $300 a night. Pushing guys to the side, trying to grab people up for $50 a night. I couldn't believe it. I said, you
probably needed the money. Plus the prestige goes to people's heads, bro.
Yeah, but listen, my sensei also instructed me, listen, you got to get paid. No money is worth, you know, situations, but you go according to what you work. And if the rate is that, then you get paid that rate, no less. So if that came about, I got to know the first couple of questions, what's the hours and how much? Because there are also guys out there that try to, all right, I need you to work from 6 o'clock all the way to 4 in the morning, paying for $125. When you break that down, that could be like $6, $7 an hour.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and that's something that I wanted to intervene for a sec, just a small second, and tell the audience that when you're listening to the numbers that we were, the amount of money we were making as security, you see how ridiculous it sounds to you. You know, for some of you that are making $100,000 a year, whatever you're making, and what these gentlemen were making, and you know, including myself, protecting people and putting our lives on the line. You know, $10, $20 an hour. You know, when I first started, I remember I started in 1979. That was the first club I worked at. The club was called the Disco Inferno.
Yes.
You remember that? That was in, like
that's the first time when you brought me there, Shidoshi.
Yeah,
I seen Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh performing Club Inferno.
Yes, and I remember that, and I remember I was making $100 a night then.
Yes.
Now think about this.
Oh man,
this is 40-something years ago.
Yes,
and you still have security making $100. Think about that.
The club owners,
they may not even come home tonight. They may not even come home in the morning, and lose their lives, get cut up, get spit on, and get disrespected for $100, $125.
Many years as I worked, Sensei, many years as I worked, I've always had that in my mind. I said, and the stories that I tell some other bouncers or ones that are starting, I said, listen, my instructor got me into working security. And at that time, he was making like $100.
$100.
So I said, even through all of